Give it up one more time for Franny Cash. Wow, what an amazing way to start off the evening. You guys can grab a seat, My name is Jeremy. Can you say hey, Jeremy? And man, I have had the privilege of traveling with Brandon Lake for the last year or so, and we have seen God do some amazing things throughout our country. And every single night on the King of Hearts tour, we love to get into God's Word together. Is that okay with you tonight? Okay, so I'm going to Jeremiah 29:11. It reads like this. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, but plans to give you hope and a future. Can somebody say hope and a future with me tonight? Hope and, that's right. Tonight I want to show you how I've seen this play out in my own life. This right here, this is my son Evans. He was born in West Africa in the country of Ghana. His birth mom passed away 5 days after he was born, and he was testing positive for HIV on the day that I met him. Okay, then this right here, this is my daughter Yodit. We call her Yo-Yo, and she was born in Ethiopia. She was abandoned on the day that she was born, found in a plastic bag on a sidewalk and testing positive for HIV. But friends, I'm here tonight to celebrate with you that both of my kids, they're home now. They're 12 and 13 years old, and both of my kids are testing negative for HIV. Jesus gave them hope and a future. That's why, just a couple months before this tour started, I decided to travel all the way back to Ethiopia. I wanted to find the exact location where my daughter was abandoned. So I went to that place. I wrote her a letter, and then I filmed myself reading her that letter. I told her that the place where I was standing was once a place marked for darkness and abandonment and death. But now, because of God's love for her, this could be a place of hope. I even unpacked more of her story, telling her about the teenage girl named Tigist that was walking down the street on the morning she was born, when she heard a noise coming out of a plastic bag and decided to stop, get down on the ground, open up the bag, and pull out a beautiful girl that I now call my daughter. So when I asked her permission to share a little bit of her story with you from stage tonight, before she said yes or no, she actually asked me a question. She said, will it help other kids just like me? So while I was there, I went searching for children that live in the hardest places. That's how I met Tazita right here. She's 7 years old. And just days before I got there, her mom gave birth to 2 beautiful twin babies. They live in this community of primarily Christian families that are completely marginalized from the rest of society. For generations, the children, their parents, their grandparents, and their great-grandparents, they were never able to go to school. They weren't able to go to church. They ate only 1 meal a day, and they weren't allowed to communicate with the outside world. They were completely isolated for this reason, because they were born into a family that had a career as a pottery maker. They literally used their hands to make the items that you and I use in our kitchens every single day. But for hundreds of years, this culture taught that if you were born into this, then you were less than a human being. Now, I got to spend a lot of time with Tazita's parents. They were never able to go to school because of this discrimination, and now they feared the same thing for their daughter. In fact, her mom told me some things that I wrote down. She said, sending Tazita outside with old and dirty clothes, it breaks my heart. Even more, there are days when I sent her with an empty stomach, as I have nothing to feed her. This one day, I even walked with Tazita and her dad down to where they got water, and it broke my heart to know that this water source was still causing a lot of illness throughout the community. So after seeing all of this, I knew that my family and I wanted to be a part of her story somehow, and we decided to sponsor Tazita. While I was there, I had an opportunity to sit down and share my faith with them. Check this out. The same God that made me and my wife and my son and my daughter made you and you and you and you and you. We may be far apart by miles, but we are very close because of God. People may say things about us or think things about us, but we know who we are in God. and we believe in hope and a future for Tizita. Friends, something had to change. I could physically see that Tizita was malnourished. I could feel the pain from her dad just wanting to provide for his family. And then I could see how proud her mom was of her children and wanting them to succeed. And around the same time that I was there, World Vision had just started registering children for sponsorship to help break this cycle of poverty that has existed for generations. And I'm so excited to share with you tonight that Tizita was one of the very first children sponsored from this village. Can we give God some praise tonight? So I left her home with a lot of hope, especially when the next day we went to a different community. This was a place where World Vision had actually been working for a number of years because a bunch of the kids there had been sponsored. And that's how I got to meet Mesresha. She's 10 years old, but people in her community have really only seen her out and about for the last year or so. That's because when she was born, she never made a sound. She never learned to crawl, and she had a lot of trouble focusing her eyes on anybody. That's when her parents feared that she might have a disability. And the reason I say they feared that was because in this culture, it was taught that any child born with a disability was a curse on the family. So listen to this. Her parents kept her in hiding for the last 7 years. She never saw the sun. She never came outside to play with friends, and she certainly never went to school. And it begged the question, how many other children just like her are away in hiding? Well, thankfully, World Vision started working in her community just a couple years ago. They are always taught to seek out the children that live in the hardest places. So when they heard about Mesresha, they went to her home and they learned that due to fear of stigma, she had never even been taken to the doctor before. Well, around the same time, this lady named Miss Joyce in Indiana, she decided that she could give up $1 and a couple pennies a day if it meant that Mesresha would have hope and a future, and she sponsored her. Well, one day, Mesresha decided she wasn't staying in hiding anymore. And against all odds and breaking all cultural stigmas, one day she came out into the light to attend school for the very first time. Over time, her physical and emotional and social skills started to improve so much that other kids in surrounding villages started to hear about her. And when they heard, they said, you know what? I'm no longer staying in hiding. I have value, I have worth. And they came out into the light, and these new friendships started to form everywhere you looked. In fact, Mesresha told me, if you ever meet my sponsor, Miss Joyce, would you tell her this for me? Would you tell her that I love her so much? Would you say, God bless you? And then tell her, thank you so much for everything. Friends, Mesresha, she brought hope to the hardest places. Now, tonight is a very special night because we are going to attempt to break records on the King of Hearts tour. In fact, the first 600 people that sponsor a child, we have a free Brandon Lake bandana for you, our way of just saying thank you. But before we get to that, I wanted to revisit the story of my sponsored child, Tizita. And I love what this says. I'm a 5-year-old girl full of hope. So I would love to sponsor Tizita so that she can go to school. Yeah, we are all family.
We are happy, we are also happy to be family.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Is it okay if I take this home with me?
I want to see once more, and it's my pleasure.
Okay, then remember before when I was saying about going to school? Okay, so I want you to try to go to school every day that you can, okay? Yeah, now you are ready. And these are some supplies to help you at school. Will you help her remember to go to school and encourage her to go to school? Thank you so much for today. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much. Friends, when we talk about sponsoring a child, it's something that every single family in this room tonight can do. It's $39, you do it monthly, there's no contract. But tonight, we wanted to be clear about why we're asking you to do this in the first place. And it's because in Jeremiah 29:11, Jesus promises this for every child.
Hope, 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 hope.
Hope and a future for every single child. And check this out. Just last weekend, we were in Orlando, Florida, and they sponsored 582 children in one night. So that is the record that we have to beat tonight. And to help inspire us tonight, I have a message from somebody really special.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Brandon. Yeehaw. What a night it's been already. And I just want to say thank you for being here. This just blows me away. I know it's been already such an amazing night. I believe that tonight is so important, not only because of the worship that we're singing, but who we brought along with us. And one group in particular is World Vision. If you've been following me for a minute, you know that I've partnered with them, and I'm especially excited about this year because we're doing something different. If you know me, I'm always trying to break records and do something different. And World Vision is quite literally changing the world and saving so many lives. So this year, we wanted to do something different. With partnering with World Vision, we are wanting to go into the most difficult and hardest places to go and rescue lives. And the truth is, we need your help. It takes you, it takes me. My family is so involved. Each one of my kids sponsor a child their same age. And I believe that through the power of every single one of us, we can literally change thousands of lives. We can break records and go into the hardest places and do what very few are willing to do. And so I just would be so honored if you would consider partnering with us. Let's go into the hardest places and bring, man, not just help. Let's bring hope. Let's bring life. Let's bring Jesus. Come on, do it with me. I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brandon. And what an amazing example to see him and his family sponsoring multiple children. I hope you didn't miss this, but tonight, World Vision was able to identify the children that live in the hardest places. We know their names and we have their photos, and we brought them here with us tonight. That's why we have volunteers throughout this entire arena. Volunteers, would you make your way to the front of your section for me? And in just a minute, I'm gonna count to 3. And when I get to 3, we wanna invite you and your family to raise your hand to receive your sponsored child. But here's the thing, if we're truly going to break the record tonight, we're gonna need every single family here to participate. I mean the families that have never sponsored a child sponsoring their first one. I'm talking about the families that already sponsored number 2 and number 3. I'm looking for a family tonight willing to sponsor 10 kids, but it's gonna take all of us. So tonight, it looks like the volunteers are ready. Families, I hope you're ready. 1, get those hands ready. 2, decide who's about to raise your hand in your family. Let's change the world. 3, let me see the hands of all the world changers. Thank you. Right down here, thank you so much. Up top, I see you, thank you, thank you. Come on, give these guys a huge round of applause. Tonight's the night. Tonight's the night we break the King of Hearts to a record. Over 582 children sponsored in one night. Tonight's the night, keep those hands up. As volunteers are coming to you, this is what I need you to do. You're coming face to face with your sponsored child. So as soon as you get your packet, there's only one packet per child. I want you to grab your phone, open up the camera app, don't use any other apps, use only the camera app on your phone, and scan the QR code on the front of your packet. That's gonna take you to a link to sponsor that specific child. You enter your name, address, and your first gift. You can use credit card, debit card, PayPal, kids, you can use your mom and dad's credit card, no problem, okay? Enter everything and then hit sponsor now. Now the second part, and this is so important. The first 600 people that sponsor a child tonight, we have a free gift for you from Brandon Lake and the tour. It's this amazing King of Hearts bandana. The way that you get this is you run to a World Vision table up on the concourse, show us that you sponsored a child, just show us your phone, and receive one of these gifts, okay? Now the second thing, sometimes when we get this many people in one big room, your phone doesn't work, and we get it. Don't panic. Every volunteer has a pen. If your phone doesn't work or you get an error, grab a pen from a volunteer, fill it out with paper and pen, and then turn that in as well at a World Vision table to receive your free gift. Make sure it's filled out completely. And then finally, if you're in a section where there's no volunteer or they couldn't get to you, go ahead and grab your phone right now. There's a QR code up on the screen. Go ahead and scan that QR code. That'll direct you to sponsor a child. And then same thing, come to a World Vision table and show us that you sponsored to receive your free gift. Friends, we all care about this so much. We don't want you to miss any part of worship tonight. That's why right now we're going to take a brief intermission to give you time to sponsor your child, get your free gift, and then return in here for Brandon Lake. Thank you for listening to my story. God bless you guys. You are dismissed. See ya.